Post-pandemic college enrollment numbers are still on the decline, according to the National Student Clearinghouse. It reported more than 1 million fewer undergraduate students in 2022 compared to 2019. That's a 7.6% decrease. The report also found a nearly 8% decline in transfers from community colleges to four-year colleges. Joining us now is Stephanie Marken. She's a partner in the Gallup research company's education division, which has also been tracking these trends. Good to see you. And let me start with this. Aside from the pandemic, what have you seen in your research that could explain this? It's a pretty big decline in college enrollment numbers.
It is a big decline. And what's interesting about the decline in enrollment that we're currently seeing is this was actually a problem pre-pandemic. What most people don't realize is we were facing rather significant declines up until the COVID-19 pandemic. And really, COVID-19 just exacerbated some of the challenges that we were facing. More recently, what we've noticed in the last several years is community college enrollment is particularly down, as is, unfortunately, Black and African-American enrollment, especially among Black and African-American men in the U.S. And there are a variety of reasons for this. We know that one of the most significant reasons is cost, which, of course, isn't surprising if you consider the fact that cost of tuition and cost of total attendance has really increased significantly over the course of the last several decades at a rate that has far outpaced inflation. And it's just become impossible for many American families to even imagine a world in which they send their student or send their family member to college.
Do we know how enrollment has changed when you consider gender?
Yeah, it's a great question. So fortunately in the U.S., we do see that women do tend to graduate at a higher rate than men. So we don't have as significant a gender gap as we do, unfortunately, a racial and ethnic gap in the U.S. But we also find that there are other challenges that women are facing while enrolled that their male peers don't report at the same rate. We recently conducted a study in partnership with Lumina Foundation, really trying to explore what were the most significant barriers keeping currently enrolled students from being able to remain enrolled, but also keeping individuals who are not currently enrolled from even considering a college education. And when we ask a series of reasons for which they don't consider enrollment or that they're struggling to remain enrolled, we find mental health and well-being is a significant challenge students are facing, students of all types. But women are even more likely to report that stress and mental health concerns and well-being in general is really keeping them from being able to stay enrolled. So as we think about enrollment rates, we have to consider both attracting new learners, but also maintaining the learners who have already opted in and spent rather significantly in order to enroll in the first place.
Research shows, and this is nothing new, that college degree holders earn over their lifetimes far more money in general than people without them. Has something changed then about the value that people place on university degrees?
Yeah, it's a great question. What we find in the research that we conducted in partnership with Lumina Foundation is that we still see a large number of Americans report that they feel like a college education is a sure path to a great job and a great life. Unfortunately, many of them still believe, though, that cost keeps them from actually being able to access that same system that other families and other Americans are able to access. The result is that most Americans see higher education as a really exclusive system that's inaccessible to most families and most Americans. And until we really fundamentally address this issue of cost and in a significant way, we're going to see that more American families just continue to consider themselves excluded or unable to access a system that they know actually will provide them significant dividends and outcomes.
And we should mention that higher education is an inclusive term. It's not just four-year colleges. So what other alternative pathways are people taking right now?
There's so many alternative pathways to a traditional four-year degree granting experience. In fact, most students in the U.S. today are not the traditional 18 to 22-year-old that most of us consider when we hear the term currently enrolled college students. They're actually adult learners who are returning to higher education after time away, or maybe are enrolling for the first time in order to upskill and reskill and actually attain additional opportunities within their current career pathway. So we know that traditional college-age students ages 18 to 22 really require different support systems than the adult learner that we're serving today. So as we consider those alternative pathways, we also have to consider that there are different experiences that non-traditional learners are bringing to their college experience, and we have to support them differently. So many of them are facing competing responsibilities like elder care and child care. Many of them are working full or part-time. So we need to provide a flexible, accessible post-secondary system that doesn't just serve the traditional 18 to 22-year-old student. And of course, some of those options are alternative pathways, to your point, like certifications and credentials, and even two-year programs that are just easier to get through and more accessible from a financial perspective.
Okay, Stephanie Marken, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.